What's up, guys? I can't bring myself to introduce myself as the Minecraft historian. But anyway, I got this mic here. I'm borrowing it from one of my roommates to see if I like it. And as you all know, we've recently hit 10k subs, so this is going to be our 10k Q&A. Thought I might keep it kind of Minecrafty, but switch it up in a fun way. Oh, you don't actually get to see that. It's my phone password. So anyways, I thought it might be fun. I'm going to read the questions that you guys asked for the Q&A. And I'm also going to build this Minecraft creeper that somebody gave me. And again, I'll be filming video with my GoPro camera, but the audio is all being filmed by this microphone. And there's only going to be one take, so hopefully it's good. If I like this, I'll get one of these. But yeah, let's get started. Bro, okay. That looks right. Hopefully that doesn't sound too weird on here. I thought I might want to address a couple of things. Frequency of uploads. Obviously, guys, I have started going to university. I'm attending college. This is my dorm desk. Hope you guys like it. Got my lamp. I got my desk is in here. I got a couple of things. But yeah, so I'm at school and it's rough out here, guys. It's actually fine. I love it, but I obviously just don't have as much time to do nothing. What? Actually, that's not true. I just don't have as much time as I did before. Anyway, so addressing the allegations of upload frequency. Yes, I'm gonna still work on it. Just frequency is gonna decrease a little bit, but we're trying to get back in it. I just started school last month. Here's a fun one to start. Since your name is Minecraft Historian, do you study history in college? No. One of my housemates is a history major, but I just have history's more of a History's more of an occupational hobby, I guess. But yeah, one of my roommates is a history major. Yeah. I'm sure people will be wondering what my major is. My major is environment and sustainability. Specifically, my major is sustainable systems and ecosystem science. What's my motivation? Dog, that's a big question. I don't want to be a teacher, low-key, on the down low, but the thing is, like, teachers don't get paid all that great, and education is increasingly unimportant in the country which I reside. So, this is a good way I can... I like games as well, so I just kind of wanted to have a thing where I could teach people about stuff. And, yeah, where I could teach people about stuff and also do it through this creative game that I like. Let me address this one. Will channel subscribers ever be able to join the world? It's possible someday if I ever have like a full creative control over it. Although a lot of the main people that play now would kind of have to not be there anymore, which could happen. You know, these things, they do happen. Hopefully the microphone isn't hearing this motor noise. That would be bad. Obviously I have no way of knowing which direction we are going. If it just became an ecological dead zone, if no one was like ever playing it, then yeah, maybe. What is the total population of your Minecraft realm, and what's the population of the Emirates? Okay, so it's a difficult question to answer, you see, because some people play. Well, it's been a little dead recently, which is fine because I've been super busy. Other people, members of the realm, all around my age bracket, have been, either graduated and going 9 to 5, or they've been going to school, back to school, So we're all kind of very busy. Playership has been really low, but generally when it was a little more active, there were people who would play daily. Some people would play maybe once a week, and some people once every couple weeks, and then we had people who played almost never. So, but if you count everyone in total, it's probably like 20. The amount of like really active people like daily, I don't know, 3, 4. Weekly, bit higher, maybe 7 to 10, but like I said, it's gone down a little bit recently, but that's totally fine. As long as when people get back into the game, they come back to this world, that's how you keep a world alive. So, I mean, I'm not exactly concerned or anything. Favorite animal? Okay. I'll go through some animals that I like. I like pangolins. Very cool. They are endangered as far as I know. Pangolins are very cool. I like them. Snow leopards also. Very much. I like snow leopards. Oh, jeez. What a rough... What am I doing? This is so hard to see. What is that? Okay, they're the same color. Little blue-green color blindness goes hard. Hopefully that's right. I haven't been following the game. I know the Copper Age is out. I know the Nautilus has been announced. I'm sure someone wants to know what I think about it, so I'll just go for that now. It's cool, I guess. But honestly, because I've been so busy with school, like... I mean, I'm sure the Nautilus is going to be cool. I just don't have time to be going into the snapshots and stuff and, like, really checking it out and making, like, 3 shorts a week like I was doing. That's not something I can afford to be doing. What's your... Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. What's your favorite video you've made so far? Oh, that's so hard to say. I think that the quality of every video has gone up from the last... I mean, like, the ones where I, like, really try. I don't know. What's my favorite video I've ever made? What's the most recent lore of our Minecraft world? I actually don't know. I think lore 6. I like that one a lot. The story videos are always fun. Always so fun. They take a long time, though, which I think is another question we'll get to. The map was also a really fun one. That's pretty out of date nowadays. But the map of our Minecraft world, that was pretty fun to make. I'll have to do an update on that. I'll just call it the same thing, maybe the map again. Dude, I can't be asked these things. I don't have answers. Who's my favorite historical figure? Dude, that's so many people. Historical figure. Who is my favorite historical figure? Dude, I should text like my friend and I should say, hey, who's my favorite historical figure? And they'd probably know. I gotta lock in. Favorite historical figure. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'll think about it in the edit, and when I have that answer, I will flash it on the screen. What films or filmmakers would you say are the greatest influence in the Frontier series? This sounds kind of stupid. I mean, like, Ken Burns. Because I mostly use, like, the panning of the screenshots. But I'm going to put all my cards on the table right now. Guys, I'm not a professional editor. And it is so easy to do that. It's so easy to do that. It's so easy to use stills. It's very difficult to get people organized to try to, like, shoot scenes or, like, videos. So I can do, like, the panning shots and so very simple, very inspired by, like, historical documentaries, like Ken Burns documentaries. I don't think about them a ton, but that's definitely what I'm imitating. What do I think about the fossils in Minecraft? What organisms do they belong to? I think I've seen people say that they're, like, sniffers, which is fine, I guess. Say, some of them, sure. So what do we got? I don't even know what they are. There's like a skull, a big rib cage, I know, like a half rib cage. That's a good future video idea, so I won't say too much right now, but we could get to that. Okay, what are some of the international laws of the frontier, such as exploring and trade? Love the videos, underrated channel. Well, thank you very much. I quoted in my videos the 5,000 block rule. In reality, sorry, I'm checking again. In reality, it is much closer. It's like 3,500. And as far as enforcement, it's really kind of just like... Because we want the world to last as long as possible. So if we want to have a main focus on building, so building these large cities is like the ideal. This is obviously the best example, the one you see before you in my background here. The thing is, it's very hard to actually stop someone from doing that, as in the case of, like... Snaily and Highfish and Zite and anyone from Black Marine, it's like damn near impossible to actually stop them from doing it. So the only thing we can really do is employ sanctions, which are a form of market-based governance. I'm actually in a sustainable systems and sustainable supply chains class, which I was thinking of making my next video about, leave a comment that says I like pizza if you want to see that. Trade, there are no like set trade prices. Everything is pretty much as it comes, like there's no exchange rates. There's no set currency rates for anything. It's kind of like, all right, let's say the North wants to buy a double chest or 2 double chests of this much, then the price will be set then and there. 2 double chests, I don't know, for a chest of acacia logs, something like that. The North is not super involved in trade. Neither is Marine. They've been pretty much cut off, sanctioned. So most of the trade is occurring between the Emirate and the Republic and the Holy Imperium. I'm actually so confused by this. I'm sorry. Okay, I see now. Okay. I guess I'll say one more thing about international law as far as territory goes. Like, people kind of really informally claim their territory. It's a pretty arbitrary, just like sticking their finger on the map and being like, that's mine. And sometimes people kill each other over it. Mostly Black Marine is the one who will get aggressive. The Emirate doesn't tend to slaughter people over trespass. They do not like it very much. They will rob that person and then find where that person's encampment was and destroy it. How does the person in charge decide who joins the realm? It's a very inactive admin. If they encounter someone who, in real life, who they think would be good, they're like, hey, do you want to join this? It's like not a civilization experiment, but it's like a civilization server type deal. And, then they'll invite the person. Or if someone... The screening for friends of the other people is actually quite lenient. It's kind of like you vouch, if you invite this person and they cause... This is a law for just the Emirate, like citizenry as well, but for the whole realm too, If you vouch for this person and then they just and they screw it up, like you're in trouble. Obviously, we do have that one historical case of a person getting banned for inviting someone who they knew was a troll. Or, actually, no, we don't, because he was sent far away and watched extremely closely and really not allowed to come around. And a lot of times, I am the devil's advocate of a way. I obviously, if everybody gets along 100%, then it can get a little boring. So we do want to have a difference of opinion, but we also don't want to have, terrorists, okay? Not that I agree with them, but I know that they will make good content natively through, just the way that they are. I want to be really careful that I don't sound like a Black Marine supporter, which I am definitely not. We got some legs. Got some legs coming in here. This is pretty cool. So, who owns the realm? How is it managed? Enforced? Permadeath, yada, and more and such. Death is an interesting subject. It's kind of like... It's like an informal vote is cast. If someone's alive, we don't kick people who are alive. If someone dies, dies in a really stupid way, or there's a bug rock incident, then they let that person stay. I've said in a couple comment sections that we kind of have, for the purposes of the series, keeping the series straight and very much like history. I mean, you wouldn't want to abandon your 2-year collaborative world you've been working on just because you died, falling down a hole. So we when big people who are large contributors die, they kind of just become peasants, is what we say, wherein they don't really hold public office, they don't participate in any of the global politics, they don't show up in the series anymore, but they play as a background character for development, so they can still play on their world and we can still have a continuity in the series. So for example, if the president of the Republic died, there would be a new president, and maybe Brandon could play, but just as the punishment is that he would kind of lose creative control of the nation, so we could have history form. So what first inspired me to start making this series? Have I ever thought of doing an ancient history? I could get in contact with people who used to play. I could get in contact with Riptide. I do actually have IRL beef with Lemon. I don't think he likes me very much. King Lemon, that is. I don't really want to go on record and say that I don't like him, but we have had historical beef in the gaming realm. So I mean, like, I don't really want to talk to him. I mean, I have no to preface, I have no contact info for any of those people except for Riptide. I could ask him. I've thought about it. So I used to live in Gravity Falls, Oregon, before I moved here, where I currently am, at an undisclosed location in the Midwest of America, the United States. Obviously. Gravity Falls, the place where I lived, very small town, incredibly small town, lots of, not a ton of young people my age, not a ton of, so I kind of started the YouTube for my own entertainment to give me something to do to kind of stay connected to the internet, the digital realm. Every so often I was thinking, what can I make a video about? And this just came up because I knew, I was like, oh hey, this Minecraft world that I play on, this there's some crazy lore, isn't there? And they were like, oh yeah. So I thought, okay, that's a video. And that's where it came from. Which videos do you enjoy to make the most? Shorts, geology, or lore? Lore, easy, so easy. The shorts are mainly for engagement. I don't feel a strong connection to the shorts necessarily, because I know that people are watching it and they're just going and then scrolling past it. So it's to get engagement. It's to make people find my channel, because long form is pretty hard to have people find the channel and get a large population, from what I understand. But I do understand very little. But that's okay, I think. It's not that deep. As long as I'm having fun. There was a time where I was not having fun, so I kind of was like, all right, I need to back up and rethink this a little bit. Just to expand on that a little bit, it's lore because I like the storytelling aspect. I do love telling stories. If I had the financial freedom to do so, I'd want to be a screenwriter or an author. But favorite part of the frontier, I like the nation's element to it, like this. Where's the camera looking? Like this. I love this. This is so cool. Yeah, I like the nation's part. I like having the cities and having the map and having the nation set. It makes it feel like a real country, world, a real planet. Very cool. I like that. My favorite part. Easy. What are the lore ramifications of the Lava Chicken Minecraft music disc? They're pretty serious, actually, because it implies that the villagers... It implies the Minecraft movie is canon, which is horrible. Absolutely terrifying revelation. The Minecraft movie happened in Minecraft, which implies that Minecraft is in fact an alternate universe of the real world. It implies that the villagers are a lost civilization because it's very techie music. We don't see the villagers having anything like that, so it implies that they're a lost civilization, kind of like my recent Piglin video. Plug, go check it out. It's cool. If an object the shape of a rectangle with a length of 2,520 kilometers and a width of 1,650 kilometers with a rotation of 24 degrees 53 by 24, moving at half the speed of light, losing 34.56% of its speed every second, starting from the leftmost point on the object. Starting from the leftmost point. You know what? I'll do it. But not right now. I'll do it when I'm done with this. The F is this, a bean. It's actually a copper nugget. Thanks for asking. How come the original frontier has never been explored or mapped since? Because of the exploration rule on 3,500 blocks, God only knows how far away it is, and nobody knows where it is. So, and there's also nothing really... I mean, to try to find it, you'd be exploring a ton of the world for absolutely nothing at all. I'm interested from the historical standpoint, but as far as the players go, nobody cares. There just isn't a ton of interest in finding it, but eventually we will. What determines ownership of newfound land? It's kind of determined by the United Nations Council, which is not formally written into law, Since the formation of the major cities, most of the people that have joined have been pretty cooperative, collaborative, pretty willing to like get along. So usually, so someone joins and there's a screening. It's like, okay, so what type of player are you? You know, suss them out. Do you like to build? Do you like to mine? What do you farm? You know, what do you like to do? So there's that. There's what's your favorite biome? If you're a builder, what's your preferred building style? Are you autonomous, or maybe you like building but you need a little direction, in which case the Emirate would really like you. There's just that kind of informal questionnaire of people who join, and based on their answers, they are sorted around. We do have a new member who's I want to say applying because there's no application. We have a new member who's under consideration. Somebody wants them to join. But they said that they love to explore is like their main thing. So it's like, oh, you know, I don't really know if we want that person to just kind of go and because the Highfish Snaily incident, especially Highfish, like he cooked the South as far as like exploration, which is not very cash money of him to do that. How much time would it take for a real life geode to form the size of a Minecraft geode? I don't know. I'd have to do a little bit of research. It all depends on, you know, size of the cavity, size of the void, you know, the amount of dissolved minerals in the water that's circulating. There are big geodes. I don't know if I've ever seen or heard of one the size of a Minecraft geode. I will do a little research and we'll get to that at the end of the video. How long does it typically take for you to make videos, lore, or otherwise? Well, obviously, lore is by far the longest. Interview people, I gotta get people to respond to me. People who not are strangers, but like people who are like borderline acquaintances, I have to get them to respond to my messages. It's kind of hard. So I have to piece so A for lore, this is only lore now. For A, we have the discovery phase. Okay. I gotta break down, I gotta find out the details. I gotta find out what happened since the last video. So I gotta go back, and at this point they're so far apart, so I have to rewatch the most recent installments, remember what has happened, what I've already talked about. We are pretty behind, about a year or so, and it's not getting any better. Pay attention to the little teasers that I don't really drop that much anymore, but the teasers that I have dropped before, they're pretty much all real. None of them are... Some at first may appear to be memes, but in which they are, but like, no, that really did happen. There are some of those out there. But anyways, so I gotta find out what happened. Takes a really long time. Can take... Because I'm not doing it 24/7, right? I'm doing it in my free time. And we're practicing sustainable practice in the YouTube business. So on God, if I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it, which is healthy. But so gathering that amount of information takes a lot of time. It can take several weeks. That's not unheard of by any means. So then I have all the information. I write all the details down in like a bulleted list. Okay? And then I got to consider the last installment. Consider for the story. So I have to start outlining the story of the video. What's the story I want to tell? What plot lines do I want to do? Some things like what do I want to focus on? What can maybe just be a one sentence mention? What should be the main focus? Obviously, want to have enough drama to keep the people engaged, which can be a little rough. Sometimes, like, a lot of stuff happens without any new stuff being built. So the world building can slack a little bit. Then I'm gonna start collecting screenshots again. So again, engage in front of people. Please, I encourage them. They almost never do it, So that's why the screenshots are sometimes not that good. But please, I always say collect screenshots as you're building. Screenshot stuff as you build it. Give me, and I just dropped a piece. That's good. That's great. All right. Screenshot stuff as you build it. Take videos. Take clips. People don't really do it that much. The Emirate is the best about it. The North doesn't do it at all, but the North also doesn't do anything. Marine is also pretty good at it, but getting correspondence with them is pretty difficult. Getting peaceful negotiations, because they don't want their trade secrets to be shown off, and they don't want the other members of the realm to know what they're doing, because it's always illegal, violates the Geneva Convention, violates international law, etc., etc. But so then I gotta recollect screenshots, then some, mock up my own in the case where they don't exist, take my own screenshots, get my own cinematic clips. I don't really plan them out. I just kind of do a bunch, and then I folder, file them, then I gotta write the script. That takes a really long time. That is probably the most, not fun. Well, that's not true. It's fun. But that's the one that takes the most time, I think. If you're not in, the space, if you're not in the vibe zone for writing, you can't do it. So that's why it takes a long time. Because I'm very particular. I don't want to write garbage, okay? There's no such thing as, just getting it done. It's got to be good. It can't be terrible. But yeah, so I don't have a formal setup. I normally use the GoPro or my phone. That's why it sounds so bad. But I've found some ways to kind of clean up the audio in post. So I record the audio, then I put the audio into my program, my editing software. And again, I'm not a professional editor, so I just clip cut the audio down, clip cut, merge the stuff. I do my best to clean up as much as possible. I used to put the videos in and then try and sync music to the videos, but that proved to be time consuming and often pretty hard. So now what I do is I actually go through with the audio, and I will then I'll put my music over it and kind of space out my voice to have dramatic effect in the music, and then I'll go through and I'll start applying the visual stuff, and I'll sync up the visual stuff to the music that already exists, which has proved to be much easier. Have you built anything else that resembles a Rainbow Six Siege map? No. Where's my camera? No, just that. It's still pretty much empty. Its purpose is being decided on. There's some other big projects in the works right now that I am a part of. Very excited to tell you about, but I probably shouldn't, so I won't. Let's just say... But see, even in the main lore series, this is happening now, right now. So we won't get to that in the main lore series for a while. Governmental restructurings occurring. And I am working on some of the projects associated with that. I guess I will now give you the option, if you are still watching at this point, which not super likely. What do you think? Would you like for me to make videos about the stuff I'm working on right now? Kind of like my Emirate Tower design, but that tower hasn't been built yet, by the way. It was last Christmas. That hasn't been started yet. We were waiting for the Happy Ghast, which has now been out for a while. But anyway, yeah. Even ahead of the lore series. So, we'll get to the actual lore breakdown and the story about it. But I could share the technical aspects of it now. Hey, we're working on this build. This is that. Even if, the caveat is, even if it may contain story spoilers. So just let me know what you think about that. Would I eat a magma cube? No. But I would eat magma cream on top of something else. I think that could be pretty good. My bad, guys. I actually could have gotten through these questions so much faster if I wasn't building Legos. What other games do you play? Ooh, good question. I'm not sure if I want to out myself. Relax, it's not Genshin. The other games I'm playing, Age of Empires 4 is a game that me and my regular group of lunatics, of which there is no overlap with the Minecraft world, by the way. Which is it sounds a bit strange, I know, but the people I most regularly play with don't play Minecraft really at all. This is kind of like a me thing. We only play against each other because we just get dusted by the randoms. I don't recommend... If you don't have friends to play with, I can't in good conscience recommend Age of Empires 4. I'm sorry, I just cannot. So there's that. I've got plenty of clips from that. If you want the elite ball knowledge answer, the weird one, I also have been known to partake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. which came out, 2 years ago, and is now pretty much dead. I think it's a good game. Obviously, there are some questionable balancing decisions, but if you are good enough, you can overcome it. Someone's going to ask about DBD or be wondering about DBD at this point. I've actually never played it. If you knew me more, you would know that most of the games I play because my circle plays them. So Rainbow Six Siege.
Friendly's victorious.
I understood the reference. They think it looks like Consulate. I don't really love Siege, actually. I don't really love to play that, but support main, except if I'm feeling like selling the game out because I am trash. Once upon a time, I was known to play Apex, which is a game I really liked, but, it can only, hold one's attention for so long. I play a couple of different PC games, like the We Were Here series I've been playing with Flooded. It's pretty fun, although we've been stuck. BeamNG Drive. If you know, we've been playing Peak, of course. What geological feature is my favorite, most interesting in the game? And what is the most edible looking block? I really like the jagged peaks. That's not necessarily the very most interesting geologically, but I do really like jagged peaks just because they're so cinematic, so pretty. Geologically interesting. I like geodes. I like that they have geodes in the game, but they're not like that. They're cool. Or maybe the basalt deltas in the nether, as some of you may have picked up on. I've got a little fixation going with those lately. Most edible looking block in the game. Resin, I think, is very edible looking. Although it might be the glistering melon. But that's not a block. I might sample the forbidden juice of the crying obsidian. I'm not going to lie. I think I might do that. What's the story of the ancient humans? Why does lightning turn pigs into zombie pigmen? The lightning one I don't quite understand. I'm going to have to go magic. Might be a cop-out answer, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go magic, some sort of magical. Story of the ancient humans. Now, this is where this take might be a little hot. I think that game theory is, and most other people are wrong to say that everything is interconnected, or it's all the same. So game theory is especially bad with this. They've got what they call the ancient builders, whom they attribute to literally everything in the game, and I don't really like that take. I think that this is I like to think of it more as a living, breathing world. So you have all these ancient civilizations that are not necessarily... So we have ancient villagers, which I would consider to be different from ancient, human, I think. What do you think the story truly is? I think it's post-apocalyptic. What more than that I can't say. What level of technology was achieved. Certainly a high amount, I would think, because we have the discs. When is Lore 7 going to drop, buddy? Not till next year. The sad thing is that's probably true. Next year, I mean January. February? Because I got my next video lined up, I think. I got my concept in mind, so I'll have to start writing that. It's not Lore 7. And then by the time that next video is done, we'll probably be into final exam season. So there's going to be no go on making videos. Then over Christmas, I don't know how much time I'll have. Lore 7, definitely not till 2026, I'm sorry to say. But then again, it is almost November. What chose to make me study geology? I like understanding the Earth. This is a planet that we all live on, but even that as a concept is not something that... And I just dropped a piece. But even that as a concept is not something that I think people think about very often. And I mean, just I don't know. I mean, the Earth is so... The Earth as a system is so important to everything. So, I mean, I want to... if you look at the trees, or you look at, a river, or, looking at the mountains, if you're fortunate enough to live near mountains, you look at it and you want to understand it. How did it come to be there? Why is it the way it is? And stuff like that. As far as make videos about it, I've kind of already hinted that I do like teaching people. I like being the The Educator, and I like making videos. It is fun, a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun when it doesn't feel like a job, so we have to be a little careful that we don't stray too far, but for the most part. But I think I've actually answered all the questions, so I want to build this real quick, and then I'll solve your math problem. Alright, buddy, so we got a rectangle. We rotate it 24 degrees, but the rotation doesn't super matter that much, because if you take this and you start to rotate it, no matter what, the leftmost and rightmost points will be these corners. So it's going to be the distance traveled minus the length in here. So we actually know, this, and we know this. So we're going to do the square root of that, which is the length across the middle, which is 3012.12. If I solve this integral, that'll give me the distance. But that's the distance that, so if we start here, that's the distance between point A, between the leftmost corner, which I'll put as L, and I'll put this as R. So this integral will be the total distance traveled by L from A to B. So L gets to B, but we actually want for R to reach B, so we have to subtract 3012 point blah 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 kilometers off of the final distance, and that should be how far apart they are. So that's it. Gives us that answer, which is which is the distance of L between A and B, but minus the length, so that's this in kilometers now. Minus, oh wait, no, not multiplied. Minus 3012 kilometers, 0.1255 should equal 350433.355 kilometers. There, that hopefully that is the distance between A and B. Thanks for making me do that.
I see